You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report's Scoreboard Show, podcast number 253.1, our daily update on high school, college, and professional sports news in Central Indiana, like your daily audio sports section, every single day at 1 p.m.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengel.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whenever you've chosen to listen to the Central Indiana Sports Report, thank you so much for spending part of your day with us. Today is May 2nd, 2025. It's a Friday, so it's another day for the Central Indiana Sports Report. I am your host, Greg Mengelt, and I love Central Indiana sports. Coming to you today from Madison Grant High School, producer Susie is in the control room at headquarters in Jeffersonville. Coming up, we have Pacers, Fever, NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, Kentucky Derby, and IndyCar updates, along with our daily high school and college rundown, and of course, the best news and notes section in all of Central Indiana sports podcasting. But first, I'm going to kindly ask you to go to our YouTube page and subscribe. Just search Central Indiana Sports Report. It's very easy to find. Even if you're already subscribed at SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple, or Amazon, it would help us out an awful lot if you would go to YouTube and subscribe. Our subscription numbers have nearly doubled in the last couple of months since I started asking you. Really appreciate that. Also, we released our Tipton County Sports Report and our Delaware County Sports Reports earlier Friday with lots of coaching news. Plus, Hanson Crafton previewed this weekend in boxing and UFC. On the Combat Sports Report, later Friday, we have a new feature dropping. It's called the Weekend Preview, where we talk about all of the weekend ahead in the entire sports world. That'll be with a different guest every week. This week, it was Grant Schaus, who joined me to preview the Grant 4 baseball and softball tournaments. We start today's Scoreboard Show where we have been most of the time the last couple of weeks, and that's with your Indiana Pacers. The NBA announced Friday that the Pacers-Cavs Game 1 will be on TNT and the Max app, but still no time that the game will be played in Cleveland. That's because it's unknown if there will be one game or two on Sunday. If the Rockets beat the Warriors in Houston on Friday night, there will be two games. If the Warriors win, the Pacers-Cavs will be the only game of the day. It's the first NBA quarterfinal being contested. Otherwise, not a lot of news coming out of Indy except for the Halliburton family situation. The Pacers and Tyrese's father, John Halliburton, announced Thursday that John will not attend any more playoff games for the time being. Halliburton reportedly verbally accosted Milwaukee star Giannis Antetokounmpo following Indiana's Game 5 win. On Thursday, the Knicks completed the Eastern Conference semifinal field with a 116-113 win over the Pistons in Detroit. The Knicks will take on the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference semifinals after Jalen Brunson scored 40 points and hit the game-winning three-pointer with 5 seconds left to help New York advance. And the Clippers forced the Game 7 in Denver with a 111-105 win over the Nuggets in LA. Game 7 is Saturday at 7:30, again on the TNT and the Max app. Rockets Warriors is the only game Friday. Tip is at 9 p.m. in San Francisco. The game can be seen on ESPN. The Indiana Fever season gets underway, kinda, with a pair of preseason games this weekend. They start Saturday at 1 at Gainbridge Fieldhouse against the Washington Mystics. Then Sunday, the Fever face the Brazilian national team at Carver Hawkeye Arena in Iowa City. Of course, the former home of Fever star Caitlin Clark. That game is at 4 p.m. and can be seen on ESPN. Clark was posted as the favorite to win MVP award at 2-1, just ahead of three-time MVP Asia Wilson of Vegas and last year's MVP runner-up Nephesia Collier of the Minnesota Lynx. First-year Fever head coach Stephanie White met with the media Wednesday and told them her plans for this weekend.
It's early, so players aren't going to play as many minutes as people want to see them play. We're going to try different combinations. We just really want to get out there and see what it looks like against a different opponent.
In the NHL on Thursday night, 3 series ended, and the Avalanche came from behind to force a Game 7. Colorado led 2-0 early, but trailed 4-3 entering the final period, then outscored Dallas 4-0 in the third period. Game 7 is in Dallas on Saturday at 8 and can be seen on ABC. The Maple Leafs advanced to the Eastern semis with a 4-2 win over the Senators. In the West, the Golden Knights survived the Wild with a 3-2 win, and Edmonton advances with a 6-4 win over the Kings. Winnipeg St. Louis Game 6 is in St. Louis on Friday. The Jets lead the series 3-2. It's the only game Friday and is on TNT and the Max app at 8 o'clock. The 151st Kentucky Derby will be run Saturday at Churchill Downs in Louisville. The race starts at 6:57 p.m. The favorites are Journalism with Umberto Rispoli aboard and Sandman with jockey Jose Ortiz. Both are looking for their first Kentucky Derby wins. Journalism is the betting favorite at 7-2 with Sandman at 5-1. Some others to watch are Sovereignty, Render Judgment, American Promise, Luxor Cafe, and Final Gambit. Grande was also considered a contender, but was scratched on Friday morning with a cracked heel. The fillies run in the Kentucky Oaks Friday at 5:51. Simply Joking, Tinma, and Quiet Side are among the favorites. IndyCar is in Birmingham, Alabama this weekend for the final race before moving to Indy. The race is scheduled for 1:30 Sunday on Fox at Barber Motorsports Park near Birmingham. The first practice is Friday at 3:30. The second practice is Saturday morning at 11:30. Qualifying is at 2:30 Saturday. Both practices and qualifying can be seen on FS1. Alex Palou is the two-time reigning series champion, is at the top of the standings again in 2025. Penske's Scott McLaughlin is the defending race champion. And Formula One is in Miami this weekend. The Cincinnati Reds beat the Cardinals in the series finale on Thursday, and the Cubs beat the Pirates 8-3, so Chicago maintains a 2-game lead over Cincinnati atop the NL Central. The Reds host Washington, and the Cubs are in Milwaukee for a big series this weekend. To our news and notes, Pendleton Heights has named Jared Rhodes its new boys basketball coach. He'll be the 12th coach in program history. Rhodes is a graduate of John Glenn, but spent the last few years in Florida and Pennsylvania as an assistant coach at the college and high school level. He replaces Joe Buck, who won 6 sectional championships and a regional and a couple of stints as the Arabians head coach. Yorktown's Owen Fouts has been named to the 25-26 IHSA Student Advisory Committee, a role once held by our very own Will Rutherford. Also part of the 18-person crew are Shenandoah's Cooper Allen, Mount Vernon's Libby Reese, and Fisher's Greer Swaim. Pendleton Heights sophomore Ada Hupfer continues to pick up Division I basketball scholarship offers. She tweeted Thursday that Bradley has offered her a scholarship to continue her basketball career in Peoria, Illinois. Guerin Catholic quarterback Malcolm Howes tweeted Friday that he's committed to play football at DePaul. Kentucky Athletics announced Friday that the Wildcats will host Purdue in an exhibition game at Rupp Arena on October 24th. Time and TV TBA. 107.5 The Fan tweeted Friday that it will partner with the Indiana Fever to broadcast all of their games, including this weekend's preseason games. John Nolan will be on play-by-play, and Bria Goss will be the analyst. To local high school softball, Frankton scored 5 times in the 5th and beat rival Elwood 8-2. Allie Smith was 3 for 4 with a double, an RBI, and a run for 7-4 Frankton. Emily Fawcett was 2 for 3 and drove in 2 runs for the 4-7 Panthers. Oak Hill stayed in the CIC race and essentially eliminated Madison Grant with a 12-9 road victory Thursday. Carson Wiley, Lex Myers, and Julie Hawkins all had 3 RBIs for the Golden Eagles. Myers had a double and a triple, and senior Liz Godfrey hit her first career home run. Yorktown scored 6 sixth-inning runs and picked up a 9-4 win over Westfield. Big win. Olivia Jones and Anna Rinker both homered in the 6th, and Alexis Fields went 2 for 4 with a home run, 2 RBIs, and scored a run for the 10-2 Tigers. Emma Wilson went 4 for 4 and scored 5 times, and Jason Swink doubled, homered, and drove in 6 runs. In Anderson's 25-2 win over Muncie Central, Marion won a slugfest 18-13 at Northfield. Allie Ernest was 5 for 5 with a home run, 3 RBIs, and 2 runs scored for the 5-9 Giants. Jasmine Weaver and Jayana Davis both had 3 hits, 3 RBIs, and both hit a home run in the win. Kokomo scored 18 times on 18 hits in an 18-8 victory over Jeff in its NCC opener. Amira Marciniak was 4 for 5 with a double, 2 triples, and 4 RBIs. Lucy Goad had a triple and 2 RBIs, and Spencer Martin had a double and drove in 4 runs. Kokomo is now 8-6. Tri-Central held off a late Sheridan run for a 10-7 Hoosier Heartland victory. Layla Baldwin, Claire Conrad, and Emily Marzewski each had 2 hits. Conrad and Baldwin each homered. They scored 6 times and drove in 5 runs combined. Maddie Wessel threw a 1-hit shutout in Clinton Prairie's 13-0 win over Taylor. The Gophers are now 4-0 in the HHC. Cowan beat Wapahani 14-2 for a Mid-Eastern Conference win. Savannah Hall was 3 for 4 with 2 doubles and scored 3 times. And Briley Hyatt homered and drove in 3 runs for the Blackhawks. Claire Callahan led a Liberty Christian offensive explosion in a 19-9 6-inning win at Shortridge. Callahan was 4 for 5 with a double and scored 4 times in the Lions' 3rd win of the season. She was hardly alone in her contributions. Addie Novakoski went 3 for 3 with a double and scored 4 times, and Ellie Callahan crossed home plate 5 times. Some other scores of interest around the region. New Pal beat Shelbyville 9-3. It was Fisher 16, Mount Vernon 4. Carmel topped Tri-West 12-8. Rossville blanked Delphi 12-0. Clinton Central got past Horizon Christian 8-7. Shenandoah ripped Randolph Southern 18-0. It was Eastern Hancock 14, Monroe Central 3. Logansport 12, Winnipeg 2. Jay County beat Adams Central 17-3. Benton Central beat Central Catholic 12-2, and West Lafayette beat Faith Christian 12-2. In local high school baseball, Frankton scored the game's first 8 runs and beat Elwood 16-6. The Eagles had 17 hits in the win, 3 apiece by Kane Oakley, Mason Jones, and Jarrett Morris. Oakley doubled and hit his 3rd home run of the season, 2 in the last 2 days. Jones and Morris both had a double for the 5-5 Eagles. Jace Reese had a double and 2 RBIs for the 2-13 Panthers. Oak Hill got a big CIC win 15-4 at Madison Grant on Thursday. The Golden Eagles are now 8-7 overall, 2-1 in the CIC. Emmett Dorothy had an RBI double. Landon Watts had a 2 RBI triple, and Trenner Boswell a 2-run home run in the win. Lou Gilman had a single and a double for the 9-5 Argyles. The Golden Eagles and Argyles could play again on Saturday in the Grant 4 Championship or the consolation game back at Madison Grant. LaPel scored 15 times in their first 2 at-bats and beat Tipton 15-5 in 5 innings. A.J. Nunley was 3 for 4 with an RBI and scored twice for the 13-1 Bulldogs, who played Pendleton for the Madison County Championship on Friday evening. Zach Goshern had 2 doubles and drove in all 5 Tipton runs. Tri-Central picked up its 2nd win of the year, 12-7 over visiting Sheridan. The Trojans trailed 7-5 after 4.5 innings before scoring 7 times in the 5th. Jake Cherry went 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs, and Brody Arnold was 2 for 4 with a double, 2 RBIs, and scored 3 times. Eastern overcame an early 9-0 deficit and beat Manchester 16-3. The 2A number 6 Comets are now 13-4 on the season. Caden Robinson and Wyatt Harshbarger combined on a 2-hit shutout in Clinton Prairie's 10-0 win over Taylor. Alex King drove in 3 runs for the Gophers. Yorktown scored 8 first-inning runs and beat Northeastern 15-1. Henry Tokar homered and drove in 3 runs, and Cole Purdue was 2 for 2 with a double, 2 runs, and an RBI. Yorktown is now 8-7. Anderson suffered a 10-2 home loss to Winchester Thursday. Cole Roberts had a single and a double for the 8-6 Indians. Wapahani is 5-1 in the Mid-Eastern Conference after beating Cowan 11-1 for the Raiders' 4th straight victory and their 8th win in their last 9 games. Brock Zickraff allowed just 1 run on 2 hits, and Eli Andrews was 2 for 3 with a double, a run, and 2 RBIs. 5 different Raiders had multiple hits in the win. Blue River beat Westdale 4-2 in an MEC contest. Grayson Mealy hit a 2-run homer, his third-round tripper of the season, for the 5-9 Warriors. Bethesda Christian beat Liberty Christian 17-3. Caleb Greenlee had an RBI double for the Lions. Some other scores of interest around the region in softball. It was New Pal 9, Greenfield Central nothing. New Pal's now 6-2 in the HHC. Mount Vernon beat Guerin 12-2. Cole Schott had 4 RBIs in Noblesville's 11-4 win over Westfield. Center Grove topped Carmel 8-5. It was University 10, Ritter 0. Zionsville 12, Franklin Central 5. McCutcheon 10, North Central 7. Lafayette Central Catholic beat Harrison 11-9. Delphi handed Rossville its first HHC loss 5-4. Shenandoah 13, Randolph Southern 3. Shenandoah's 6-0 in the MEC, a game ahead of Wapahani. Monroe Central beat Eastern Hancock 7-3. Adams Central beat Jay County 3-0. And it was Huntington North 4, Columbia City 3. Western and Twin Lakes was postponed. We had one dual meet in track and field. It was Eastern against Sheridan. Eastern's girls edged the Blackhawks 57-54 in a very competitive dual meet Thursday in Greentown. For Eastern, Elizabeth Bruno won the shot put and discus. Ava Kantz won the 800 and Zoe Sexton won the 400. Haven Gunderson won the 300 hurdles and Malia Shellnut the 1600 for the Comets. Kantz, Allie Houston, Lainey Newland, and Cora Gunderson won the 4x100 relay. For Sheridan, Sophia Godig, Kinsey Garner, Nova Cross, and G. Warren set a new school record in the 4x400 relay in 4:29. Eastern's boys had a much easier time beating the Blackhawks 96-36. Andrew Cavazos swept the throwing events and set a new school record in the shot put with a toss of 56-9 3/4. Jace Forgave and Obadiah Green were triple winners for Eastern. To girls tennis, Alexandria beat Frankton for the second time this season. The Tigers beat the Eagles 3-2 on their way to a county championship a couple of weeks ago, then beat them 4-1 Thursday night to move to the top of the CIC standings. Both teams entered the showdown 9-1 overall and 1-0 in the CIC. So both of Frankton's losses this season have come to Alexandria. The Tigers swept the doubles matches, including Abby Gaines and Lily Harp's comeback win at number 1 doubles. They dropped the first set 6-3 before winning the final two 6-3 and 6-2. Avery Cuneo beat Lainey Hamaker 7-3 in the first set tiebreaker, and before a 6-1 victory in the second set at number 1 singles. And Faye Bridwell defeated Lily Hall 6-2, 6-2 at number 3 singles. Frankton's win came at number 2 singles, where Sloan Harrison picked up a big 6-4, 6-3 win over Kara Quinn. Marion beat Lapel 3-2 in a thriller Thursday, despite playing without star Shaylee Castaneda. All 3 Giants wins were in straight sets, but there were a ton of competitive games. Ava Maroney won easily at number 1 singles, and Nyla Hubbard and Abby Now won fairly comfortably at number 1 doubles. The match was won at number 3 singles, where Audrey Rodel picked up a big 6-3, 7-6, 7-5 victory. Number 3 Westfield versus number 6 Fishers was rained out and will finish Monday. Some other scores of interest: Huntington North beat Columbia City 5-0, and Greenfield Central beat Newcastle 3-2. The Cougars won 6-4 in the third set at number 2 doubles for the win. Oak Hill beat Frankton by 3 strokes Thursday at Arbor Trace in local golf action. The Golden Eagles shot a 166 to Frankton's 169. Trent Nelson led Oak Hill with a 39, and Carson Hess shot a 40. Corbin Daly finished his round in 43 strokes and also had his first career eagle. Frankton's Reed Utterbeck was co-medalist with a 39, and his teammates Isaac Farron and Ryder Shepard both shot 42s. Crawford Douglas, Jade Swanson, and Owen Garber each shot a 39, and Maverick Beeson a 40, and Lapel topped Tipton 157-168 at Tipton Municipal. The Blue Devils' Preston Lancaster was a medalist with a 38. Hamilton Heights beat Tri-Central 180-207 on the front 9 at Bear Slide. Tanner England led Tri-Central with a 45, and Jay Jankowiak finished his round in 49. Kokomo edged Peru 166-172 at Kokomo Country Club. All 6 Wildcats shot in the 40s, led by Ashton Goff's 40. Mitchell McClellan and Nathan Labo shot 41s, and Jack Verley, a 44. Kanan Horner finished his round in 46 shots. Newcastle beat Monroe Central and Richmond in a three-way at Muncie Elks. Monroe Central's Cohen West shot a 37. And Yorktown announced Thursday that it's picked up a match on this coming Monday against Frankton at TPC Woodland Trails. In college baseball, regular season Crossroads champion Taylor advanced in the conference tournament with a 16-4 win over Huntington. The 9th-ranked and 42-8 Trojans faced 33-18 Mount Vernon Nazarene in Marion on Friday at 2:30. In Thursday's win, Taylor had a solo home run, a 2-run home run, a 3-run home run, and a grand slam. Caleb Colpine hit the grand slam, and Luke Picciotti hit a 3-run homer in the Trojans' 9-run sixth. No surprise getting home runs from Colpine or Picciotti. However, Fletcher Romich and Ryan Sommer both hit their first home runs of the season. Gabe Pentecost was the winning pitcher and is now 12-1 on the year. After IUK scored 10 times in the 8th and beat Midway 21-11 in the opening round on Thursday, the Cougars were knocked into the consolation bracket with a 20-5 loss to top seed Oakland City Friday morning. IUK will play Brescia in an elimination game at 4 Friday in Chillicothe, Ohio. Crossroads softball champion Indiana Wesleyan fell into the losers bracket in the conference tournament with a 12-7 loss to Marion on Thursday, despite Whitney Waddell's second-inning grand slam. The Wildcats will face St. Francis at 11 a.m. Friday with a chance to face Marion for the conference championship. Indiana Wesleyan's men's and women's track teams are in second place in the Crossroads Championships at Marion. With 1 day left, Marion leads both races. On Thursday, the Wildcats' Grant Flora won the conference 10,000-meter championship, and Delaney Flood took the 100-meter dash title as the fastest women's runner in the conference. Taylor Sam Patterson is the Crossroads champion in the women's 10,000 meters with a meet record 36:53:44. And Trojans junior Kiana Seifert won the 100 hurdles and the long jump titles. Taylor's women are in third and their men are in fourth going into the final day. And in college men's tennis, Anderson beat Earlham 5-2 in the Heartland Conference tournament at Pendleton Community Sports and Wellness Center. Davis Border won 6-1, 7-5 at number 5 singles, and then teamed with Luis Guerrero to win at number 3 doubles. Anderson is 12-7 and will face Transylvania in the tournament semifinals on Saturday. Don't forget about our weekend preview coming up at about 5 o'clock Friday afternoon. We will go over everything happening locally Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Thank you so much for listening. Always appreciate it. If you'd like to see us continue to grow and thrive, please share these Central Indiana Sports Report podcasts with your friends and family. We humbly thank you in advance. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. And I love Susie.